Hi, Shirley here with Channeling Science, and I would like to record a quick video for you, just so let you know what I'm studying these days. And this is about anchoring yourself energetically and creating energetic anchor, both as a healer and as patient and as any human being. So the importance of anchoring yourself energetically is there are many ways you can approach this. Basically, it's good for healing and avoiding psychic attack. It's a lot easier to avoid. But if you already have it, then anchoring yourself energetically is about separating your energetic field from the energetic field of another human being. And anchoring yourself in love. So, anchoring yourself energetically, this basically means grounding and healing yourself from whatever vibrations that could be a match to entities or people or behaviors or situations that are triggering. That being said, even if you are completely healed, the world outside of you is still there, so you can get triggered from the outside influences, and then you can clean yourself up. So that's something very important. And you use grounding, like grounding crystals, grounding techniques, and it's important to ground yourself in love, because you take the love not from a human being, not from a therapist, not from a partner. You take the love from an energetic source that can provide you with the energy of unconditional love, like a clear rose quartz crystal. Now work with the rose quartz Madagascar, or pink tourmaline, which is a bit lighter in its effect, or any heart chakra crystal. You clarify, you cleanse the crystal. Some new technique that I use is to put it next to a candle, a burning candle, next to a fire, because fire is very cleansing and purifying, but it is, and transforming of course, but it is also energizing. So another way is to use a quartz cluster. And anchoring yourself energetically and grounding yourself in love basically means that you are the source of your love. You cannot manifest relationships, even healing work, teachers, healers, therapists, without grounding yourself in love. And even when you enter a relationship or a therapistship or a student teachership, even then you have to ground yourself in love. So it's important for both patients and healers to know that. For patients, you need to expect your healer to work with you on the place where you are grounded, and keep that place on all energetic frequencies. Everywhere there has to be congruency between the frequencies, not just the words. It's not just the energy in the room, it's also the energy outside the room. If you have energetic rapport, and you will, it's important for you to be the one who holds a crystal in your healing sessions. It's important for you to be the one holding a crystal at home. It's important for you to be the one receiving this source of energy that you need from a life form that is not another human being on which you can depend. And there you have another human being with their own set of intentions and wounds and passions and consciousness and subconsciousness that you're interacting with, and you created a bond. Because if you don't do that, if you are in a healing work and that's not done properly, or that's done partially, then what's going to happen is that you're going to Slowly, 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 you're going to go from this to this, trying to lean on and draw on the energy. And if your healer is not aware of that and does not protect themselves and their boundaries energetically, or for some reason breaks them because they get carried away with something, then you're not going to get healing. You're going to get heartache, and then you're going to, heartache in the good case. It might be that you don't get heartache. It might be that it's going to be outright violence, which is also heartbreaking. So, so anchoring yourself energetically and being a separate human being is not only before you enter any relationship, but also during, which is challenging. You have to maintain yourself even when you have another channel open with another human being. So anchoring yourself and anchoring yourself with love, this is what I do. I take grounding crystals like tiger's eye, take large chunks of them, and I put them next to my feet, or I hold them in my hands. And then I take a crystal like a rose quartz crystal, the Madagascar rose quartz that I showed you, and I put it on my chest, or I hold it in my hand. And I just let it be. And whatever comes up, I take a notebook, I take even my smartphone, and I write it down. For example, I wrote down this video as I was doing this self-healing and self-grounding. Touch. Hugging yourself. Just going over your body, sort of feeling yourself. Literally. Even if you don't do it in a sexual setting. Feeling your body. What's coming up there. Stopping every single, not every single, every couple of moments you stop and let whatever you're doing sink in. And then you realize very soon that you are the healer of yourself. Whatever you see from the outside is, even if it's not a reflection of you, it is a match to you. That includes your partners, that includes your teachers, that includes your children, that includes your healer or therapist. It's a relation. Energetically, these are all relationships as any relationships. These are all mutual relationships in which, if you manage your energy, you are at a good power position. If you don't manage your energy, you're in a lousy power position. And it doesn't matter if it's not, teacher and student. Teacher and student, we know that the student's necessarily vulnerable. Not necessarily. If you ground yourself in you and you pay attention to your boundaries and you walk out when you don't feel like this is something that keeps your boundaries, or this is something that's in alignment with you, and you trust the universe that you're going to find what's in alignment with you up next, then you're in a power position. You are. And that's something that's the good news. And you could be a healer and be very professional and very loving and very caring, and things do come up in you as well. If you don't know how to protect your energy field and ask before you interfere with the other person's energy field, and there are exercises to do that, then you're already breaking a boundary. You could be very protective of the boundaries within the room, be, for example, a conventional psychotherapist, very protective of the boundaries within the room, but energetically you might draw on the energy or penetrate the astral field because you think it's fun or funky or healing even, but you don't get permission and you don't tell what you do, then you're already breaking a boundary. And that's where, after you've broken the boundary, it's really, really tough to go back. Usually you'd have, I think, to stop therapy, I guess, which is why it's so hard to go back. Or in the rare cases that you do trust yourself not to do that again, and understand that should be corrected. So that is also true to partners, and especially when you talk about sex or astral sex. And I know people are picking up on it these days, and it's kind of a fun habit, and there are the dangers and the implications and whatnot. But there it is also important to anchor yourself energetically and ground yourself with love, so that the entities that you invite to mingle with you, or the entities that you mingle with, ground themselves with love. And you need to also ask for permission. Otherwise, you're already breaking boundaries. This is a really tough lesson because it's so abstract. How do you know if somebody lets you in? How do you know if you're not just thinking that they say okay? In energy, it's in the physical world it's difficult, but in energy. So my best answer to you is ground yourself with love. Love is going to show you the boundaries. It's going to show you the boundaries, and it's going to, and the most important is communicate. Even if you have astral sex, it's one thing to have astral sex with gods and entities, but if you have astral sex with someone you don't know in this person's life and does not know that you're there, unless you're very aware, you're both very aware, that's wonderful. But I would suggest this practice as a part of an equal relationship, again because of the boundaries. And yeah, what else do I have to say? Anchor yourself with love. It's good for channeling, it's good for relationships, and it's important that you'll understand if you are wounded, then your energy is weaker, and then you tend to draw on the energies of others, and then you tend to draw people that draw their energy, draw out your energies, either that or violate you in some sort of a way. And when boundaries are broken, again, you can have a setting like a scene where you both set out to interfere with each other's boundaries, and you both agree on what you can and cannot do, like a BDSM scene. That's wonderful if that works for you. But in this life, out of the scene, it's really important to pay attention to that. Really, really, really important to pay attention to that. You break energetic boundaries, you don't have communication of what's going on there, you don't tell, this is my experience, this is your experience. Separating, and this is something that I might do another video about, validating experiences, what's my view on it. But only when you ground yourself with love, you are aware of the boundaries and can respect them. Because if you're unloving towards yourself, it's difficult for you to respect boundaries, especially energetically. You can't fool around with energy. You can't lie with energy. You can't deceive with energy. You can, but not if you know that the energies respect boundaries. They do. The more, higher frequencies entities do. Some don't. This is how you get people to have schizophrenia, for example. You get their match to, the radar is wide open, and they match to all kinds of entities, and some of the entities are not respecting of their boundaries, and they're not respecting of their energetic boundaries, and they need to learn how to anchor themselves with love and learn how to shut and open that radar, which I don't quite know how to do for people with schizophrenia. People tell them take pills, take that. I don't know what's the effect on that, or if it helps or not. But entities that are going to be useful for you in your healing respect boundaries. That is one of the first signs that they respect your boundaries. You call on them. You call on them, you attune to them, and then you get messages. You might get messages if you attune, likely, let's say you take a crystal, and the fact that the crystal is in your head, you're going to have certain thoughts and certain things because it affects your energy field. But when you want to call on a guide, usually you call on a guide, you call on a spirit, you call on the connection, you set your intent to call on just those entities that are in light frequencies. And you're going to know through the messages that they give you. Okay, I'm having a non-organized video. This is, let me know if how you are with that. Would you like the more organized, shorter videos, or would you like me to just ramble on and get your own, you know, when I'm watching YouTube, if I'm watching, for example, Mark Bayerski, he does that and he's wonderful. The title has nothing to do with the video sometimes, but he does speak about what we plan to speak, which is a lot more. So if you're into that kind of content, then I can do it like that. I'm just trying it out because I have so much content to give, not so much time to record. So now that I am recording, but I will do separate videos about validating the experience of patience. I'll try to now. You can catch me anyhow on Instagram as well. I'm going to upload some stuff there. And usually I want to record live and not upload so much written stuff, but I do from time to time. So you can catch me there. You can join my Facebook group, Manifestation Tips That Actually Work, where you can ask your own questions and you can ask me questions. You can DM me on Instagram if you have any personal questions you want me to answer to you for free. I have taken no responsibility whatsoever on whatever I say. I'm not a healer or a therapist myself at this point right now. So that's the big disclaimer. But if you do want to gain from my experience and my knowledge that I do have, then feel free to DM me on Instagram or write me a message on Facebook. And you can also comment here with your questions. What would you like me to talk about? Did you resonate with that? Did you resonate with the content of the video? Did you like it that this is a longer video than usual? Or would you like that length of videos usually? Then let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.